What is up, everybody? Happy Victory Saturday as the Jaguars dominated the Titans. Just wanted to say that real quick. But let's get into this, man. I was really expecting to drop a video yesterday about where Jalen Ramsey was going to end up. Obviously, after the loss on Sunday, he wanted to get traded. Like, he demanded to get traded, after the debacle with Doug Marrone not challenging it. Then he got into it with him. And, it's almost like Doug Marrone's kind of the fall guy because Jalen Ramsey supposedly has a pretty good relationship with Doug Marrone. And, I could see that just because Doug Marrone almost seems like a little bit of a player's coach. At least, like, he doesn't call players out in the media, and he's kind of got the players back in a lot of sense. So, but it really more stems from the people up top. He does not have a good relationship with Tom Coughlin, which is understandable just because really Tom Coughlin and Dave Coleman and whatnot, they have been rewarding kind of bad players with contracts and kind of letting their homegrown talent walk. I mean, and they've just been doing questionable stuff in the draft. I mean, since Jalen Ramsey got drafted in 2016, the Jaguars, one of the best receivers in Jaguars, history was Allen Robinson. He holds the franchise records for receiving touchdowns and receiving yards in a single season. He's on the Bears now. They don't give him a contract extension. They pay guys that aren't even on the team. They pay like Malik Jackson comes in and gets like $90 million. They bring in Andrew Norwell in 2018, and the 2019 offseason passed, and he is still the highest paid guard. And Julius, all these players that just reward with these gross contracts that aren't homegrown talents, but yet you play hardball with Allen Robinson. The Jaguars are playing hardball with Yannick Ngakoue, and when you look at the draft in 2017, Jalen Ramsey's first draft actually being a Jaguar, they passed up on all the quarterbacks, whether it be Patrick Mahomes or Deshaun Watson. And they decided to stick around with Blake Bortles after he had this abysmal 2016 season. And in 2018, it was pretty clear that Jalen Ramsey kind of wanted Lamar Jackson. He lets it be known out to the media what he wants. And, the Jaguars passed on him to get Lamar Jackson. Then, the defense, the team in 2017 are 10-16 that made the AC Championship game run. That team was carried by our defense and our running game. And, Blake Bortles has kind of a fluky playoff, tenure when he was those 2-1. He played pretty well, especially in the Steelers and Patriots game. But the Jaguars, just look at that sample size and, don't look at any of the years before. And they give him this big contract extension when it really wasn't needed because he still had the fifth-year option. And even that day when Blake Bortles got awarded that, several hours before the news broke, Jalen Ramsey put on Twitter, like, y'all won't believe what I just heard, ... And everyone's like, what? He deletes the tweet. Then a couple hours later, the news breaks that Blake Bortles got the contract extension. Then he put out a tweet after that. I forget what it was, but, it was something along the lines of, we'll get through this. I don't know. I don't really want to put words in his mouth, but that's kind of what he said. And, when the news first broke that Jalen Ramsey was demanding a trade, and that he wanted out of the Jacksonville, I was like, you know what? Screw this guy, because I am a team first guy. I am like, it's Duval versus all of y'all. If you don't want to be a part of the squad, get the hell out of here. But, that's the passion in me kind of driving that. But man, as time goes by and I look at the situation, I'm sitting here like, Jaguars don't have a single Hall of Famer on the roster. Or not on the roster, but they don't have a single Hall of Famer in franchise history. Jalen Ramsey is the best cornerback in the NFL. He's a draft pick that you hit on. And the fact that that you may only have survived 3.5 years being on the Jaguars roster, and he is going to be lighting it up, whether it be on the Ravens, the Eagles, wherever, that would be an ultimate blunder in Jaguars history. It would be an ultimate low point in Jacksonville history, and it's like literally we had this guy and we let him walk. We had a Hall of Fame talent. We let him walk. So the latest report is that they are trying to to amid the relationship between Tom Coughlin and Jalen Ramsey, and that's what needs to be done, man. I mean, Jalen Ramsey. I mean, when I was looking at it first, I was like, look, this may not be a player that we want to pay just because he isn't really a leader and he's not really a captain. So it's like, do you really want like the highest paid player on your team to be a guy that's, kind of on his island by himself, isn't really, and I don't really know what defines a leader, but when we see when we see a leader in our eyes, we kind of see a guy that's, on the sidelines, talking to everybody, pumping them up, whether it be like breaking down players in a huddle, that kind of player. But regardless, he is a lockdown corner. He does everything well. Let this be known, I'm not a big fan of him as a person because I don't like the way he conducts himself on social media. I don't like the way he kind of distanced himself from the Jaguars. I don't like how he. I didn't like the Doug Marrone thing with them two on the sidelines, just because I didn't think that was. I didn't think that was right of Jalen Ramsey. I don't think that's his position to try to act like, Doug Marrone needs to be making decisions based on what he says. He freelances sometimes on the defense, but man, like him on the field when he's locking players down, when he's holding DeAndre Hopkins to like 40 yards, when he's absolutely shutting players down, when he's got the mouthpiece dangling, talking shit to other players. I love that. I love that about him. And this guy, I mean, this guy's gonna be in a Hall of Fame. It's the truth. The Jaguars can't let a talent like this walk. Put the pride aside, whatever. I mean, the Jaguars had to do something. Jaguars had to do something with keeping their homegrown talent. We've already extended Miles Jack. We got to figure out what the hell we got to do with Unique Ngakoue, Jalen Ramsey. Both of these guys need to be on the Jaguars. I don't care who you cut. Hell, we have very expensive interior of the offensive line that's not doing anything with Andrew Norwell and Brendan Linder. Where's our running game at? You know what I'm saying? We're not running the ball in the interior well at all. We've got Marquise Lee, who I don't think has a single reception this year. We're paying him big money. And we can figure out what to do on the defensive side of the ball. We might need to do some, obviously Telvin Smith's going to be out the books with Quincy Williams in there. Miles Jack obviously getting paid, so he's not going to play another game in a Jaguar uniform. Marcel Daris at the interior is probably going to be cut. Look, we have to find a way to get this done. Lock down the guys that we drafted, make these guys franchise players for the Jaguars, and let's move on. Let's keep making this defense great. You know what I'm saying? Those are my thoughts, and I was happy that Jalen Ramsey didn't get traded yesterday. We all kind of expected it coming because it looked like he was saying goodbye to teammates on Friday, or after the game on Thursday. He supposedly cleared his locker out, but they got to fix this relationship. And if they don't fix this relationship, then look, we don't have to trade him this year. Look, and even if we did want to trade him, why do we trade him this week? Why would we have traded him yesterday? The trade deadline isn't for another month. You know what I'm saying? And we've got, after this season is over, we still got another year of control over him. So look, if it's Tom Coughlin or Jalen Ramsey, see ya, Tom. I'm getting him the hell out of here. Keep Jalen Ramsey. He's our boy. Florida boy. FSU boy, even though I hate FSU. Got plenty of jerseys around town. He's pretty much the face of our franchise. There's a lot of good things going for the Jaguars right now. We are 1-2 with a pretty easy schedule ahead. Whooped up on the Titans finally. Got that monkey off our back. Got Denver coming up. After tomorrow, we could imagine starting off this season 0-2, and in week 3 you're tied for first place in your division. That's a very real possibility if the Colts lose to the Falcons, and if the Texans lose to the Chargers. So I'm pumped up about this season. Got to figure out what get a deal with Jalen Ramsey, and have a good season because Minshew Mania is real and alive. Got to do something about the run game. But man, the defense, Saxonville's back, 9 sacks. They did really well against Houston too, like really locking them down. Now that they let Gardner Minshew open a playbook up and actually throw it downfield, I'm excited about this year, guys. We've got good things coming. That win was much needed, and I hope everyone's having a good weekend. Hope your college team's doing good. UCF's undefeated. Can't wait to see them play Pitt. But anyways, I've been talking too long. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Go Jags. Duval till I die. Keep Ramsey. I'm out.